นกรับท่านเข้ามาอย่างนกนก
รับแล้วค่ะ
เดี๋ยว
แต่
นะ
ว่า
เดี๋ยวพี่ดูก่อน
รับแล้วค่ะพี่แต่ว่ายังหมุนอยู่เลยค่ะ
เดี๋ยวดูโอเค
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Dhamma meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone who is interested is welcome to join. We are waiting for our first participant. Who shall that be? Tonight seemed like a little bit slow. Took a while for me to get into the room. Maybe the
สู้นะครับ
speed,
อาจารย์
internet speed is slow or something. Got 19 people waiting. We cannot
Okay.
let them in.
Okay, I got first. Mark go first.
Hello, Marco. You're the first one. Did you have difficulty getting in, or you have to wait longer than usual?
Hi, Ajaan. No, it was okay. I always log in early, so it was okay this time.
Okay. Go ahead and say anything you like to say.
I have a couple of questions. My first question is, Ajaan, I've noticed that I'm getting more irritated when I realize that somebody's not understanding what I'm trying to say. And I would like to get some guidance as to how to deal with that. So I try to be mindful, I try to be patient, and when it feels like the person who I'm talking to is not understanding it, I do sense that I'm getting irritated, and I do show that apparently in my behavior. How can I remedy that?
Well, first of all, the cause of your irritation is because you want the person to understand what you're talking about. But you have to look at the person and analyze. He might not understand what you're talking about, or his mind is somewhere else when you're talking to him. So this thing can happen. So like I say, don't expect anything from anybody. Just okay, repeat the question or repeat what you have to say. And maybe he's not listening, or maybe he's here but his mind is somewhere else. You know. So no point getting irritated because doesn't do
It doesn't
anything
help.
any good anyway. Just just look at the person and say, he's Tanija, he's not someone you think he is all the time. He might be somebody today, not the same person you know yesterday. And you just
Understand.
cannot control him.
Thank you, Tanajan. Yeah, I've noticed that I'm doing that. I'm also feeling that I'm getting more agitated about other things. So I don't like going out in public much. In the past, I had the problem that I was too focused on the outside. I was scanning constantly, looking people in the face, and I've completely stopped doing that. But then doing that, I try to look at my feet when I'm walking outside, but I start to feel agitated by being outside. Is it possible that that's the kilesas trying to
Yes,
get
when you
involved?
feel irritated, it's because you expected something else and you're not getting what you expected. Could be anything, could be people, it could be the weather, it could be anything. So you just have to practice a lot more mindfulness and meditation to have more equanimity to deal with the changing situation. Changing situation in anicca. See? Anicca means change. Things keep changing and you cannot control them. That's anatta. You get irritated because you think you can change them or you can control them and make them the way you want them to be.
Yeah, I think indeed that's the case. I think I even try to control myself that I don't want to feel like that, and that doesn't work. That doesn't work that way, because then you feel tense.
And where you cannot control your mind all the
No,
time. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Same way with sensation or feeling. Sometimes you can control them, sometimes you cannot. So when you cannot control them, just try to flow with it, blowing in the wind, as they call it. The answer,
thank you.
my friend, is blowing in the wind.
Yeah, exactly. But one of the things that I've agreed with my wife is that I was gonna share with her what some of the thoughts are that come up, and we always get into arguments about it, because for me the mind goes so fast. There's so many things that come up all the time, and I try not to hold on to them, specifically when they're not okay things, or I'm trying to compose myself or to control myself or control the mind, which doesn't always work. Do you have suggestions for me on that? Because I don't want to disappoint her, and at the same time I don't want to lose track of what I'm trying to achieve, which is just understanding what's happening and letting the mind be the mind, but at the same time not go in the wrong direction, to do skillful actions constantly. I've been keeping the precepts really well, and I feel really good about it. Weekly now I'm doing 2 days, 8 precepts, and I'm thinking about doing it longer, because I feel more sharp when I'm doing my meditation, especially in the evening. But yeah, I feel that sometimes the communication about what's happening is difficult. Do you have tips on that maybe?
Well, you have to know your limitation. Don't be a perfectionist. Sometimes you fail, sometimes you succeed. Things are like that in life. So accept your failure sometimes, because sometimes beyond your ability to do whatever you set up to do. But one thing you can do is not giving up. Just keep trying. But
That's the key.
be ready to fail, and then you won't feel disappointed or sad or angry at yourself. If you think that you have to succeed all the time, then when you fail, you feel terrible.
That's true. Yeah, I feel really good about doing the practice now very strongly, and I fall back on that. But I'm noticing I have very little people to talk to. I have this forum at least to share my feelings, and sometimes when I get into a bout with my wife and she ignores me, it drives me absolutely nuts, because she's the only one I can talk to about this stuff. So I'm trying to be stronger in that as well, and not trying to control or expect. But it's difficult because I want to share. I want to share what I'm feeling, and at the same time, then I get agitated when I have a feeling I'm not being understood, which doesn't help either. So I'm in this circle, which I create myself, and I know that that's something that I need to train more mindfulness on that, and be more willing to let go of what I'm expecting or controlling. That's difficult.
Yes, reduce your want. And the more you want, the more likely you will become disappointed. So just try to take things as they come. Do what you can, do your best, and that's all you can do. And whatever happens, it happens. be ready to accept either success or failure. Life is like that. It's two sides of the same coin.
Absolutely.
Success and failure is the same. It's just two sides of the same coin. Both
True.
sides now. Both sides now. You have to look at life at both sides now.
That's true. One of the other things that I've been noticing is that sometimes I have the feeling that I get doubt when I'm trying to meditate. And what I mean with doubt is, so I'm focusing on the breath, and then I'm noticing that my body is feeling good. It's getting tingling, and then I realize that, but I focus back on the breathing, and then I'm wondering, am I focusing too hard on the breathing, or am I? And I wondered what can I do to get the doubt away, because I think the doubt is holding me back.
Well, just look at the reality on the ground. What's going on the ground? Just look at your breath and know it for what it is.
So I'm grasping too much or imagining too much, and then it becomes thinking again, and then that takes me away from the practice, basically.
Yes.
Mhm. Yeah, it's one of the things that I've been struggling with in the beginning, that I've been thinking too much, and that's been going better, I think, because I feel more calm now, but I also feel more when I'm just trying to be mindful whenever I'm doing anything, like walking towards the coffee room or going to the car. I noticed that there's really a whirlpool of things happening constantly, which is very tiring. I don't think that's ever going to get better.
Yes, but you don't have to pay attention to them, really. Pay attention to what you do.
Yeah, and that's the key, I think. So I before I did the practice so intensely, I didn't even notice there were so many things happening. And I think this awareness of them happening actually sparks interest somehow, or at least it amazes me as how many thoughts are happening at the same time. And at the same time, then I'm trying to be mindful to go back to the walking, for instance, taking steps. But it's interesting to see is that, yeah, I'm wondering if it's because I'm now so focused on practicing.
I think you think too much. Just forget about it. You just look at what's going on. That's all. You don't try to analyze them or anything like that if you don't have to.
Yeah, I think this is a key, a key, how do you call it? Topic that comes back from me every week.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ajaan. Yeah, so that was the main things that I wanted to ask about. Also, the walking meditation on the steps that I'm taking. One of the things that also to stop the thinking is actually not to say any words in my mind, but just feeling the steps. So I feel my foot going up, my foot coming down, instead of actually saying the words, because I have a feeling that when I'm starting to say the words, that a dialogue starts up easier or faster. Is that a good approach, to just observe the feeling as opposed to words in the mind?
It's not the feeling you want to observe. You want to watch your steps. Watch
The step itself.
watch what's going on. When you're walking towards something or not, is there a snake ahead of you or something like that? Just pay attention to the body and the surrounding that on the thing that is ahead of the path that the body is going toward. Just be careful. That's what mindfulness is being. Be careful. Make sure that you don't slip or fall or walk into a tree or something.
So I'm basically then narrating what I'm doing in my mind. That's then a problem. So I should stop narrating. I should just
Yeah,
take
that's
the
right.
steps.
That's the goal, is to stop narrating, stop dialogue, mental dialogue.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to say indeed with the words that I mean. So not to use words indeed, but just to observe the steps happening and then
Yeah,
not saying the words.
just to know, to observe, to see what's going on with your body action.
Yeah. Thank you, Tanajan.
I think there's a word they call bare awareness. I think that they use the word bare awareness.
Bare awareness. Okay.
Yeah, just to be aware. Yeah, merely being aware, but no thoughts, no thought about what you are seeing or observing. Just being aware. Just observe. Be a silent observer.
It's the silent bit is key. Thank you, Tanajan.
Okay. Don't try to analyze too much. Yeah. If you want
I
to
will try.
analyze the body, such as is it anicca or is it permanent or is it not permanent? Is there a self in this body or is there not a self? This is
Yeah,
if you want to analyze. I think this is something you should analyze.
and when I do that, I get very interesting discussions in my head, which is exactly not the mindfulness that I then need, which is different. That's one of the reasons why I think I got into trouble in the beginning, because I was trying to observe my body, but then in such a way, like, oh, this is this, and this is now this, and this is now this, and then I'm not relating it to this is not me, and then again it becomes this thought process where you have this dialogue happening, which I'm now trying to steer away of. And it's indeed going better by not going into that dialogue, but just trying to do the observation of that. So then after I do my meditation and I'm more calm, then I do that analysis. Then I do my Asupa training and I try to see the body for what it is. And that's helping, because I've been seeing now constantly when I'm walking, even just images of the Asupa things that I'm seeing, to try to apply that to the body, to my own body as well. When I see the skin, I see it decaying. I see that it's dirty. I see that it's just not beautiful at all. It's changing constantly. So I'm seeing that now, which is good. But then indeed the thoughts come up again as well.
Yes, basically teach your mind about the body, the nature of the body. Will it get old or not get old? Will it get sick or not get sick? Will it die or not die? Just these
Yeah,
three questions. Just try to find an answer and be ready to to face it when the answer, when the time comes.
exactly.
That's more important than anything else that you should know. The Buddha constantly teaches us to remind ourselves that we are subjected to aging, sickness, and death. It's a natural process that we cannot go beyond. Yes. So try to teach our mind until eventually it will accept this truth. Then when it happens, the mind will not feel any suffering, any stress.
Thank you, Tanajan.
Okay. All right, next we'll go to Oregon to Step.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
I listened to a talk you did, I think it was like 7 years ago. And you said in your response, the defilements, I don't know if I'm getting this wrong. The defilements stay with us, in our rebirths. Is that true?
Yes, yes.
So
The defilement is in the mind, not in the body. See? So,
that's what goes on. So that's why we want to deal with our defilements.
That's right. Because
Okay.
our defilement are the one that causing us the stress, the suffering, the pain in the mind.
Okay. Yeah.
Basically, they're the cravings for sensual pleasure.
Okay, so our cravings
Stay with
that
the
I
mind,
feel
come
like
from
in
the
day
mind.
to day,
Yeah.
that is also, that's just like kind of like part of this. And then that's going to go on into the next, because that's kind of how this is. So it'll go into the next, even if it's not me specifically. And that's why I want to deal with it now.
Yes, if you can eventually somehow get rid of it, then it won't be left in your mind.
And then easier chance in Nibbana. Yeah.
And basically, the way to get rid of it is not to follow it, not to go after the cravings. And you have to use meditation and mindfulness and wisdom to be able to resist these cravings. And eventually the cravings will no longer be in your mind.
I have that with some, but not all.
Yeah. Next time, just try to get rid of some of the craving that you can. Ask yourself, is it necessary that I have to do this thing or not? Whether I have to watch this movie or not, whether I have to eat
That
this
is
thing or not.
helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Well,
maybe
thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Next, Alvin from Malaysia.
Namaskar, Ajaan. I don't have any question, just listening in. Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay. Professor Ken from Switzerland.
Afternoon, Ajaan. No questions at the moment, just listening.
Today's your day off from teaching.
Yeah, this semester it's quite a low time. I'm only teaching on Monday and Friday, so I've got plenty of time.
Okay, good. Plenty of time to practice.
Yeah.
All right. I'll go to Singapore then to Kok
Thank
Seng.
you, Ajaan.
Kok Seng, your turn.
Yeah, good evening, Prajan. Prajan, just have this question that arises in me, and that is, what should be a correct understanding that we should have regarding the recent escalation of the conflict of war in the Middle East, so that we do not feel any stress. Yeah, thank you, Prajan.
The Buddha said that hatred doesn't eliminate hatred. It's only goodwill or loving kindness that will eliminate hatred. So if people use hatred to react to one another, they will just continue on with this cycle of hatred. So this is basically they don't understand the nature of us, of human being, of the mind, that the mind will react to the same thing that is being treated to, right? If you treat the mind with, somebody treat you with hatred, you naturally would like to hate back. And if somebody treat you with love or kindness, you want to return the same thing. But people don't believe in this. They think that if you react with kindness and love, they'll take advantage of you and hurt you more with hatred more. But I think the Buddha had proven that it's not that. If you eventually can convince them that you're truly kind and loving, they will stop. They will stop hating you. But this is difficult because hatred is one of the defilements that's been embedded in the mind for many lifetimes, and it is the cause of all our conflict in the world. Is hatred. So it will go on. Look at this thing as normal. This is part of the way of things, the way things are in the world. There will be war, there will be fighting, there will be killing. And they'll come back and restart the same thing again. Those people who die this lifetime, they'll come back. Whenever they come back as a human, they'll continue on with their hatred. So don't expect anything from the world to be rosy and good, Just try to keep yourself away from this fighting or war or whatever if you can. Practice, the Buddha said, practice the 4 Brahma Vihara, the four abodes of the sublime abode, they call it. loving kindness, metta, karuna, compassion, mudita, sympathetic joy, and equanimity, ubeka. This is how we should treat each other, how we should deal with each other. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
You're welcome. Next, Julia from Colorado. Hi, Julia. How you doing?
Fine. How is it there?
It's raining, rainy.
Rain.
Raining almost every day now, every afternoon. For the past 3 or 4 days, it's been raining.
Oh my.
But it's
So
good. It's cool. Yeah, the rain makes the weather cool and fresh. Makes the air fresh also. It clean up all the pollution in the sky.
Oh, that sounds pleasant.
Mm.
So different than here. So, my question: what is the sign of the beautiful? Because I was learning in my Pali class about in a commentary, it says that it seemed like it was saying that the sign or the nimitta of the beautiful can be beauty itself, but the sign can also be the aramana, which is beautiful. And I wasn't sure. I like to understand directly. So I was wondering more about, sometimes it says, don't pay attention to the signs. So what does the sign of beauty or the beautiful sign mean? And how to work with that?
Well, if you want to use wisdom, you treat everything as anicca, dukkha, anatta. They rise and cease, they come and go, and you cannot control them. If you become attached to them or reacting to them with love or hate or fear, then you get dukkha, you get suffering. So it's best just to treat them like something like a natural phenomena. Anatta means natural phenomena. Like the weather, like the what you call thunder or lightning, they come and go. You couldn't do anything about them. Just be aware, acknowledge them, and then let go. Don't cling to them. Forget about them. That's what I'm saying. You haven't forgotten about them. See, you become curious toward them. This can cause you dukkha now, because the dukkha is trying to find an answer to this curiosity, because you don't have the wisdom to see that it's just a natural phenomenon that comes and goes.
Yeah, curiosity. Yeah.
Yeah. So look at everything as phenomena. Your body and my body is a phenomena. It comes and goes. One day it will disappear from the surface of the earth. Something comes and goes very quickly, something comes and goes very slowly, but they all comes and go. And you cannot control them. You cannot stop this process. When you cling to them, you can get dukkha, suffering.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so forget about all these nimittas.
Okay. Okay, that point is well taken now. I will try to remember. Now I'm just imagining fresh rain. It's interesting here in Colorado. it feels like being inside of a hairdryer right now.
It's hot, I heard, right? You
really
gotta-
dry and warm.
yeah, you
It
got
feels electric.
I know this is the weather and you have to just accept it.
Yeah.
It will come and go. Soon it'll turn into winter again. The snow will come again, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Things keep changing all the time. And they're not under your control. So just try to ride along with them, you know.
Yeah.
Enjoy
Okay.
the ride, enjoy the ride.
Ajaan's quoting 3 songs already this morning from
You know all the songs?
yeah. The familiarity with the English and idioms and music is pretty amazing, Ajaan. Wow, we're lucky that to have this opportunity. Yeah, Anumodam.
Okay, just treat everything as illusion, really. There's no reality. Whatever appears, it will disappear. They're like a mirage. They seem to be real, but when you get to them, they're gone. Yeah. Can you hold on to anything permanently? No, nothing is permanent. Everything comes and goes. Appear and then disappear. Some appear and disappear slowly, and some appear and disappear very quickly. But they all have the same nature. They are temporary, they are anicca. So you cannot treat them as real, because what is real today can be gone tomorrow, right? So treat them all as illusion. They're not real. They're just like movies that you watch. You watch one movie and when you finish, it's gone. See? And you watch a new movie. So try not to cling to anything, because when you lose what you cling, then you become sad or become stressful. So you have to constantly remind yourself that everything is temporary. Everything that you see or you feel or touch, they're all temporary. Even your body is temporary. But the mind is permanent. See, that's the one who knows, the one who come into contact with everything is permanent. But everything that the mind comes into contact with is temporary. Okay, is that clear to you now?
Yes.
What is best for the mind is emptiness, because emptiness never changes. Emptiness will always remain empty. So you want to get the mind to that state where it can enjoy the peace and happiness of being with emptiness. In order to get to that state of emptiness in the mind, you have to stop all your cravings. Your craving is the one that is pulling your mind away from being empty, because once you have craving, you feel that you got to have something to make you happy. You don't know that actually what really makes you happy is nothing. Nothing or emptiness. This is what makes the mind peaceful and contented.
That's refreshing.
So you have to stop your craving. Stop going after things, because everything that you go after turn into suffering sooner or later.
Does Ajahn know the expression, the term FOMO? My friend taught me it means fear of missing out. So like curious about things that one might miss. and my friend thinks that it's possible to have spiritual FOMO, fear of missing out on spirituality or things exploring. So I hope I don't succumb to that. I hope none of us do.
Yes, you have to meditate to get to equanimity. And all this love, fear, hatred, and delusion will temporarily stop functioning. And your mind will remain in contentment with nothing, be happy with nothing.
Okay, Ajahn, that's good.
Okay, so the key is mindfulness, because the mindfulness will then give you success in your meditation to get the mind to equanimity, to emptiness. Then you see that emptiness is not so bad at all. Because emptiness never hurt you. It's all the things that you have that keeps hurting you. But you still cling to them. You still like them, even though they hurt you. Okay.
Okay.
Good luck to you. Next, Philip from Malaysia.
Ajahn, don't have any questions. Happy to be listening in.
Okay. Nining from Indonesia.
Yeah, Ajahn. Good evening, Ajahn. Ajahn, I have a question. Do we always have to keep our promises? For example, I have already promised to my friend to give donation for his project. Before, I know him as a kind person, a good person. But then in the process, I see him breaking the precept many times, many times, even not having direct relation with me. So should I continue donating or just cancel my promise?
Well, it depends on what condition you put on your promise. You're going to help him until you find out he's bad, then you don't want to help him anymore or not. It depends on the condition you set up when you make the promise. If you have no condition, and you just want to help him, then it can be interpreted whether, I don't know how you're gonna interpret it is that permanent promise that you're gonna keep helping him all the time or not? I don't know. It depends on how you make your promise.
I don't have any condition, but I promise to help him financially in some building something for him. But lately, I see him not as a good person. He many times breaking the precept.
But you didn't tell him that I'll stop when I find out that you're a bad person.
Can I tell him like that?
Well, you when you make the promise, you didn't tell him that when you make the promise, did you?
When I make a promise, I say that, oh, you are a good person, you are a kind person, I will help you.
Okay.
That's the condition only like that.
So it means that you will help him if he continues to be a good person.
Mm.
And
so
when he's no longer a good person, then you can stop helping him.
So is it okay in the Dhamma? Because many people believe that promise should be fulfilled.
That's right. Once you make a promise, then you should fulfill it. But it depends on the condition of your promise. Yeah. Some people can say, some people promise me that they'll come to they'll give food every once a week once, and okay, then they have to keep doing that. Or if they say they're gonna give food for only 3 months, then these are the conditions you have to make. The Buddha said when he sat under the Bodhi tree, he said he's gonna sit there until he became enlightened. If he's not enlightened, he won't get up from that tree. So there are conditions that you have to set up with your promise.
Yeah, I see.
Then you know. Then you can know whether you can keep your promise or not keeping your promise. If the condition change, for instance.
Yeah.
Like
That's why.
you can promise me that you'll support me as long as I'm a monk. But when I'm no longer a monk, then you don't need to support me anymore.
Yeah, I see.
Okay, so it's up to how you made your promise.
Yeah. And then like friendship, sometimes when our close friend become not good person, for example, he make living with having a ship to collect the fish. It means that breaking the first precept. So should I still be friend with them or not?
Well, see, being friend and being friendly is different. See, you can still be friendly, but you might not want to keep him as a friend anymore.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that's why I'm not I'm not feel convenient anymore. And then I ask myself, is it good if I stay away from this friendship and just still be friendly, but not make a good friendship like before?
That's why you should still maintain metta toward all beings, regardless of whether they're good or bad. Meaning you should not hate anybody, even if they're bad.
Because lately, many people become not good person because of the condition and the crisis.
That's because you never thought of anicca. The Buddha said everything is anicca.
Yeah, Ajahn said that everything is harmful for the mind, and that's true.
Okay. So you have to be smart and try not to cling to anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Ajahn. I still haven't booked my ticket, and after I issued my ticket, I will info the admin.
Okay.
The time.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
You're welcome. Next gig, Yenso from Penang.
Ajahn, no question or reasoning. Yeah.
Okay, go to California. Nita, why is Saket? He's not here today.
Good evening, Ajahn. Saket is traveling to India to take care of his mom.
I see.
So that is why I'm alone today here.
But feel better that way, being alone.
I do enjoy the solitude when I get up in the morning. I enjoy the solitude. By the evening, I'm like, I'm feeling lonely. I want him back. So I'm observing every day the cycle is this way. Like in the morning, it's fine. By the day progresses, it gets harder.
Try to meditate in the evening. Eventually, you can replace meditation, replace it with your meditation.
Yes, Ajahn, I'm trying. I do talk to him and on the phone. So it's interesting to observe these emotions.
Yeah. Okay.
Rajan, I wanted to talk about, like, I do these walking. I go for walks frequently these days, and when I'm walking, I like whichever path I take. I know that there are ants all around. I try to be mindful when I'm walking, and I make sure that I don't step on them when I'm walking. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, I know there'll be ants all around, but I'm still walking in this path. would that be like right intention, or should I, what should I do in that case?
Well, see, the precept of killing means that you have to have the intention, actually wanting to kill those ants. But if you have no intention, and it's a necessity that you have to walk, you have to walk and you might have to step on them. And it's just not considered to be breaking the precept.
Okay, so it is okay to walk, and I'll definitely always try to be mindful of not stepping on them. So that would be fine.
Yes, as much as you can, but sometimes they're so small and you might not be able to see them and you might step on them. But this is not this is not considered to be breaking the precept.
Okay, good to know that. Thank you, Ajaan. Also, when I'm doing walking meditation, I was wondering, like, if you can please guide me a little on how should I do walking meditation. Like, some people take steps very slowly, but I'm not able to do that.
The steps it's up to you. You can walk fast or slow. You can choose the step, the pace of your walking. What's important is to attach your mind to the body, to the what's going on with the body. Just stay with the body, walking with the body. Don't send your mind to India right now, talking to me, for instance. Yeah. You might be here talking to me, but at the same time, your mind might be wondering what's going on in India right now. So you should bring the mind to the present. Let's stay away from the past and the future or the distance. Bring it here and now. Keep it staying here now. And you need something to bring it here and now, which is your body. So you just keep focusing on what your body is doing. That's all. Not just walking. When you're eating, when you're driving, when you're taking a shower, when you're dressing, whenever you do anything with your body, just stay with the body. That's the purpose of mindfulness, to prevent your mind from running all over the place. You want to fix the mind in one place, in the present, and stop thinking. When you focus on the body, if you truly focus on your body, you cannot think about other things. If you think, it means you're not focusing on your body already. Okay, that's the goal. The goal is to focus on the body so that you can stop thinking about other things. Then if you can do this when you meditate, your mind can become still very fast, very easily.
Lot of the times when I'm just done with my work, I feel like I should do walking meditation, but at the same time, I feel like I want to listen to a Dhammatalk. So I listen to a Dhammatalk and then I walk. Is like I was thinking how I should balance, how much should I listen to a Dhammatalk and how much should I meditate in a day after work, especially.
It depends on which is more beneficial to you. If you find listening to Dhammatalk more beneficial than walking, then do more listening to Dhammatalk. But you find that walking is more beneficial for your mind, then you do more walking. There's no fixed rule how many hours you should do each. Sometimes some people find sitting more beneficial than walking, so they do more sitting than walking. And they might listening to Dhammatalk not much, because they don't need the Dhammatalk anymore. They find that they can go on without the Dhammatalk, practice without the Dhammatalk. But for beginners, they might find it difficult to practice yet, so they have to rely on listening to Dhammatalk to help them start their meditation practice. So there's no fixed rule, actually. You just have to play by ear. Okay.
Yes. I also wanted to report back. I'm quite happy about it that I've been following 8 precepts since last Wednesday. And your guidance helped when you said that if there's hunger, it's the defilement in the mind and not in the body. And in your book, you had mentioned that mind is like the mother and the body is like the child. The mother keeps thinking that the child has to eat food, but child is not really hungry. So all these talks have really helped me, and I've been able to benefit and try 8 precepts. And for the past 1 week, I've been able to do that.
Yes,
Also, yeah.
good. If you find Dhammatalk is helpful to your practice, then you can listen to Dhammatalk. Until one day you might feel that you know everything already as far as practice is concerned. Then you might not need to listen to Dhammatalk as much as before.
Right.
When you first starting, you might need to study more than practice, because you have to know how to practice correctly first.
Mm.
Good to hear that you find the talks useful to you and can help you start your practice.
Yes, thank you so much, Ajaan, for all your guidance.
Okay, I'm happy to do that. Okay, is that all?
Yes, yes.
All
Thank
right.
you. Mhm.
I'll go to London, to England, somewhere near London. Rohini.
Good evening, Ajaan.
Yes. How are
Yes,
you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Good, thank you.
I don't have any questions for now. I just want to pay my respect to you.
And you still keep practicing your mindfulness?
Yes. Listening to your Dhamma talk and reading Dhamma books really helped me to the way I look at things, and this helped me to have a peace of mind and meditate better. It's really changed my life, so I'm really thankful.
Do you still recite the four foundation of mindfulness?
Yeah. The last week, the week before, I did better, and last week I was spending more on meditation. I could not memorize. I wanted to do the next stage, but I could not do it because I was spending more time on meditation, sitting, and so I practice anapana, but not the
Yes, if you can practice
the rest,
anapana,
not the rest.
then you
Last
don't
week it
need
was too
to.
much.
Okay, you don't need to recite.
Okay.
If you can use anapanasati.
Yeah, that's I remember that one. That one I memorized, but I could not do much. Like particular manasikara and the other things.
Yes, these things takes time, and they come step by step.
Yeah.
The first step is to have mindfulness and meditation, to get the mind to jhana first. Then the other thing can come later on.
Because my main problem was actually because why my mind was wandering, because the way I look at things, like family matters and the things like that, that's what made my mind to wander. And so after listening to your Dhamma talk and reading the Dhamma book, and then I look at the things differently. So it reduced my mind. I just take it as anicca. I look at completely different. Look
Yeah.
at things completely different.
Look at anicca, look at
aspect,
anatta. Also, everything is a natural phenomenon.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. Next, Katrina from Australia. Hi, long time no see. Cannot
Can you
hear
hear me?
you. You have to speak a bit louder.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, better now.
Okay, everyone's asleep.
It's late now.
Um,
What time is it in your place? Midnight or somewhere around?
Yeah. Mhm.
Mhm.
It's good to be in the meeting. I'm just I've stopped having coffee and I've stopped having sugar, and it was really hard. It was really painful in the body. And but I feel really calm, but sort of craving something, craving some sort of high. But yeah, it definitely feels a lot better because I think when I was having coffee and all those things, I was aware that the high was going to end.
Yes.
So
Then you have to take more coffee to go back up again.
yeah. But now that I'm not having it, it's sort of I'm aware of it all around me and everyone that's having it, and it's so it's hard.
Yes. But once you have overcome your craving, then you feel more free from being a slave to your craving.
Yeah. And it was good to hear what you were saying about analyzing self or no self. But then I was like, how do you resolve that? Like isn't it just like an endless circle or spiral of sort of questioning, or is that what we're supposed to do?
About
Think
what?
about that.
Analyzing?
Analyzing if there's a self or if there's like analyzing why I think I am a I. Yeah. I don't know. I think that I do that unconsciously, but I don't think that I get anywhere.
Well, see, you have to stop your eye from working temporarily first. You see that your eye is just your figment of your own imagination. And you see this when you meditate. When your mind becomes completely still, then the eye will disappear temporarily. All that is left is just a knowing. And you say the knowing is the real thing. The I is just the delusional thing that created by the mind itself. So you have to get to jhana, the fourth jhana, when the mind becomes still and all the imagination stop. And all that is left is just knowing and emptiness and peace and contentment. Then you will know that the I just comes from your own imagination, from your own thinking. We are a novel writer. We write stories about ourselves. We create I, we create people and things in our minds. Yeah. But when we meditate, we stop creating this fiction thing. Then we know that all things are all fictional, not real. The only real thing are just the 6 elements. The 4 physical elements, the 4 earth, water, fire, and wind element, and the mind, which is the knowing element, and the space element. These are the real thing. And everything else is just figment of imagination by our mind, by our thinking. You think you are, therefore you are, right? When you stop thinking you are, then there's no you. So you have to get to that stage before you can see that truly there's no self in anything. Everything are just elements. So don't try to use imagination to deal with your imagination. You'll be just running around in circle, like trying to catch your tail like a dog trying to bite its tail, you know. Just try to stop analyzing first to see what happens when there's no thinking. When there's no thinking, all that is left is just knowing, which is the property of the knowing element, besides thinking and feeling and remembering. These are also the properties of the knowing element on the mind. But when you meditate, you stop all these properties from functioning. And so all that is left is just the knowing element, the knowing itself. The knowing never ceases. It just continue on, never rise or cease. But other things rise and cease. Your thinking rise and cease. Your feeling rise and cease. Your memory rise and cease. Your connection with the body come and go, rise and cease. So you have to meditate to be able to see the truth, to see the raw truth, unimagined truth, the truth without having any imagination. Okay. Then after you have seen this, then when you return back to the world of fiction, you have to keep reminding yourself that you are just a fiction character. Your body is just a part of the fiction that you created, and everything will eventually end up, gone, disappear. The body will one day disappear, and all the possession and all the people that you know will no longer will come into your your awareness. You might move on to the next world, to the next birth, if you still have craving. But if you can stop cravings, then your mind will not go on. Is that okay? That sounds all right to you?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
So try to, at this stage, as a beginning stage, we should try to stop thinking first, so that we can get to know the knowing itself, and to see that the self comes from our thinking or our imagination, not real. The mind is like a fiction writer. It writes about itself. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Have you any plan of coming over again?
I would love to come, but I don't really want to fly anymore. I just, yeah. I don't know. I don't.
How's your son? Okay.
He's good.
Has he?
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, has he graduated yet, or is he still studying?
Yeah, he's graduated. He's nearly 20. He was in
Okay.
Thailand, actually. He was in Thailand doing Muay Thai. And I wanted him to go see you, but he was only there for a short time, and he wanted to do Muay Thai. So, yeah.
Okay. Good.
But he's good. Thanks for asking about him.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Nice talking to you.
You too.
All right.
See you later.
Okay. Samanji from Sri Lanka.
Hello, Ajaan. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Yeah.
Any question tonight?
Yes. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Ajaan, just a little while ago, you said that mind is like a fiction writer. Could you just explain to me a little bit as to why you said so? Just elaborate on what you said.
We can write about anything, we're a fiction writer. You can create any characters that want to create. So you create a self and then use this self as the main character of his story. See?
Okay. Okay, Ajaan. You also mentioned that it's emptiness that leads to happiness. So I think, is it correct to say that true happiness comes from within rather than from external sources?
That's
I
right.
think that's what
right.
you meant?
Yes. You have to go inside the mind. You have to still the mind in order to go inside. And you have to do it in order to still your mind, you have to stop your cravings. Yeah.
But ironically, many people believe that happiness is something found in the outside world.
That's
But
right.
yeah.
But
So,
they all turn out to be suffering sooner or later, right?
okay. So in Buddhism, is happiness understood as living in the present moment? Or?
Well, happiness is whenever there's no cravings. Whenever you have cravings, then there's dukkha. So when you can stop craving, then happiness will appear.
I know, for example, Ajaan, for a student, like he or she has a craving to have a better education. So is it bad in Buddhism? Is it a craving?
Yes, but in the real world, you need some tools to deal with your living. So some craving are considered to be okay because you need it to in order to survive in this world, for instance. But it's still cravings. You don't have to go to school if you can become a monk, you know.
Yeah, sure. Yes.
If you can stop your craving, then it's better than to go to school. Because going to school is to use your education to serve your cravings, to support your cravings. Because you want to have a good house, you want to have a big house, you want to have a big car, and you have to want so many things. These are all cravings. But if you can cut all these cravings out, you don't want anything, you want to be a homeless person, then you don't need to go to school. You don't need any education. We live like a beggar. The Buddha and all the monks, they live like beggars. Yeah.
So it's best to become a monk or not.
But it's hard to be a virtuous beggar. You have to keep the precept and everything.
Okay.
And not beg. You have to look for things yourself. But live like a beggar. But you don't beg. You don't go and disturb other people, bother other people by asking for help for this or for that. You try to get by with whatever you can find on the street or on the garbage heap, for instance.
Okay, Ajaan, thank you. Is it, my next question is it enough to follow the 5 precepts? To get a better rebirth? This question is from a friend of mine, actually. Is it enough to follow only the 5 precepts to get a better rebirth?
Yes, if you can keep the 5 precepts, then you will not be born as animals, for instance, or being born as hungry ghosts, or be in hell. The precept will prevent you from going to those places.
And we should not even tell a small lie, no? Sometimes it's very hard to abstain from, telling what he told me was like, he can follow the other 4 precepts, but not this one, where he has to abstain from telling lies, because sometimes he said he has to tell a lie or 2, and he asked me, so he's worried about that. That's why he asked that question from me about the 5 precepts.
Well, if you break a precept, you break the precept. What can you say?
Yeah. Okay. My next question is, Ajaan, the Buddha rejected the caste system. So is it appropriate for Buddhist monks to segregate into different groups, different nikayas based on caste?
No, the different nikaya come based on the practice by different nikaya.
No. In countries like Sri Lanka, I think Buddhist monks, I don't think they call it Nikayas, but they are based on their caste sometimes.
Well,
Mostly.
they shouldn't be,
They
because
shouldn't be.
the-
Because
they are-
Buddha rejected the caste system.
Yes, but sometimes the monks can be practicing with different interpretation of the precept of the monastic
Okay.
rules. Then they could not practice together. They had to practice separately.
So Nikayas are not based on caste.
No, based on the difference of
Difference.
on the observance of the monastic rules.
Okay, Thanujan. Yeah. And Thanujan, many people suffer from depression more than ever before. How can Buddhist meditation and the Buddhist way of life help people overcome depression?
Well, depression is caused by your cravings. When you crave for something and you cannot get what you want, you become sad, you become depressed. So when you meditate, you can stop your cravings. You'll find out that you don't have to have anything to in order to be happy. So then you stop craving for things. When you stop craving for things, then you won't get any sadness or disappointment if you don't get them. Then you don't become depressed.
And when a person is over-depressed, Tanajan, he is not in a position to think, so he may need counseling. So how can we help such a person to overcome his status, depression?
Take them, go live in the monastery, or go join some what you call meditation classes.
Okay.
Retreat, going to meditation retreat, going to have 10-day retreat, for instance, people go to practice mindfulness and meditation.
And Tanajan, when doing breath meditation, what I generally do is I observe my inhale breath. Is it okay to observe both inhale and exhale breath?
Yes, you observe both, because you inhale, then you exhale. Yeah.
Okay. And this is again from a friend of mine, this particular question. When doing breath meditation, he asked, is it okay to exhale through mouth? We are advised to inhale and to do both inhale and exhale through nose, but he asked whether it's okay to exhale through mouth.
Well, how do you normally breathe?
No, I mean to exhale,
I know. How do you normally exhale? Through your mouth or through your nose?
I do it through my nose.
Okay, then you watch your
nose. This second part of the question is from a friend of mine, Tanajan.
I know, but I'm asking him how does he normally
breathe? I have to ask him. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Just watch how the body breathes. That's all. If it's breathing through the mouth, okay, no,
Okay.
just watching at the mouth. It's watching it through the nose, just watching the nose. The point is just to use breathing as an anchor for the mind, not to go thinking about other things. That's the purpose.
Okay. And Tanajan, can a person who reads Dhamma books and listens to Dhamma discussions but does not do any meditation, can such a person enter the path or attain even Sotapanna level?
Well, if you can suppress or get rid of your defilement, then you can. But the problem is if you don't meditate, you won't have the strength to suppress or eliminate your defilement. Unless you have already established meditation in your past life.
Previous past life. Okay, thanks.
If you have equanimity and when you're told that you're supposed to stop your defilement and you can do it, then you can become enlightened. You can enter into the path right away.
Okay,
like when the Buddha first gave his first discourse to the 5 ascetics, he didn't teach them how to meditate because he know they already have equanimity. So he just tell them to stop their cravings. So when they stop their cravings, they can become enlightened. If you can stop your defilement, then you can become enlightened. You can become enlightened.
Okay. Okay, this question is, the next question is from a friend of mine who is doing a postgraduate in economics at a foreign university, Tanajan. He asked, in what ways can Buddhist mindfulness practices influence leadership and decision making? in the context of sustainable development. In short, how can we make use of Buddhist mindfulness for sustainable development practices?
Well, when you meditate, your mind becomes calm and it becomes more rational rather than emotional. So when you make decision based on rationality, it will be more correct than base your decision on your emotion.
Okay, Ajahn. Do I have time to ask
Yes,
two more?
yes. Yes, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Should we always contribute to monks who request money for building or renovating temples?
Well, first of all, monks are not supposed to beg for money or for support unless they have been offered the offer beforehand. Then they can ask the person who offered. If, for instance, if you tell me that if I need some ropes, I can ask from you. Then I can ask. But if you didn't say anything, I cannot go up to you right now and say, "Can you buy me some ropes?"
Okay, and Thanajan, sometimes it's difficult for us to control cravings, especially when when it comes to me, especially when I see sweets. After lunch, I often feel like eating a piece of chocolate or an ice cream, and I have to make effort to stop myself from doing that. What is the Buddhist way to control such cravings by training the mind?
You can do it step by step, gradually. See? You don't have to do it all suddenly. You can say reduce your intake of what you like to have it or something like that. Slowly try to adjust your mind, your body toward this reduction.
Okay. Do we have to think that eating sweets won't do us any good?
Well, medical information said that it's not good for you, right?
So so do we have to think about that when trying to control our craving for sweets?
That can help, but the main goal is to see the harm in your craving, not in what you take. But what you take also can be harmful to your body, but it's not harmful to your mind. See, what is harmful to your mind is your cravings.
Okay, Thanajan. Yeah. That's all for today, Thanajan.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. Wish you good health.
Yeah, happy to hear from you. I hope your question can help people to understand better of the Buddha's teaching.
Thank you, Thanajan.
Okay.
Nice talking.
See you again.
Yeah, sure.
Next, B. Ravin from Bangkok.
Hi, good evening, Prajan.
Yes, good evening to you. What can I do for you?
So, Prajan, I did some reflection over the past few weeks. I found that if I developed some mindfulness before I meditated, I found I meditated better. So I was just reflecting on what you mentioned earlier in this call, that developing strong mindfulness will facilitate for better meditation. So that is something I'm working on to improve my mindfulness.
And you have to do this all day long. But as soon as you get up, start mindfulness with your day. Start the day with mindfulness. Because you don't have to think when you're alone, right? When you have to get ready to go to work, you have to shower, you have to get dressed, you have to get ready. During this time, you can practice mindfulness along with what you do.
Yes, when I'm alone.
Yes, and you don't have to think about anything really. You don't have to think about what you do because what you do is almost automatic. Taking a shower, brushing your teeth, it's all automatic. You don't have to use your thought to think how am I going to brush my teeth, how am I going to take a shower. Right? So don't let your mind think about anything. Keep it with Bhutto. If you cannot stop it from thinking, then keep reciting Bhutto. If you can stop it from thinking, just focus on what you do. The goal is to stop thinking. If you can do this beforehand, when you meditate, you find it easy to calm the mind quickly and easily. Mindfulness is a very important key to meditation practice. So
It's one of the Noble Eightfold Path, right?
Yes,
Mindfulness.
right mindfulness.
And then after it becomes right concentration.
Right concentration. The fourth jhana is the right concentration.
Oh, I see, Prajan. I'll work on that. And I do have another question, if I may.
Sure, go ahead.
Prajan, you mentioned the importance of understanding the three characteristics of existence, which is anicca, dukkha, and anatta. But how is it that wisdom or attainment of noble Arya is permanent? Why is it permanent? Is it
because it dispels the delusions and the ignorance of the three characteristics of existence. The three characteristics of existence is the truth. But we don't see them as such. We see the body as permanent. We see the body as a self. But in truth, the body is impermanent. There's no self in the body. So once you see that there's no self in the body, you cannot go back and say, there is a self anymore. Once you see the truth, then the truth will overcome the delusion. Just like before, in ancient time, people believed the world is flat, right? But now they have proven that the world is round. So nobody believes that the world is flat anymore. So once you see the truth, then the falsehood will not come back and haunt you or deceive you anymore. So when you truly see that the body is impermanent, it's gonna get old, get sick, and die, and you see it, and there's no other way about it. You just have to accept it. See? And when you can accept it, then there will be no suffering. Our suffering comes from our denial of the truth. We don't want the body to get old. We don't want the body to get sick. We don't want the body to die. And this is the cause of suffering. This is our craving. See? But when we see the truth and we know that there's no other way, you cannot stop the body from getting old, getting sick, or die, then you just have to comply with the truth. When you comply, then there's no suffering because there's no cravings, no desire for not to get old, get sick, or die. So the three characteristics of existence is the truth that you have to somehow teach your mind to see. And the mind doesn't want to see. The mind keeps denying the truth. The mind wants the body to last forever. That the mind doesn't want the body to get sick. It doesn't want the body to get old. That's when suffering comes. When you cannot get what you want, then you get suffering, right?
Yes. So wisdom will dispel this illusion.
That's right, delusion.
And to get wisdom, we need concentration. And to get concentration, we need mindfulness.
Yes, you need concentration to give the mind the strength to stop the cravings. When the wisdom tells the mind that it's the craving that is causing the suffering in the mind. The cravings for things that is not true. Okay?
Yes. Prajan, very clear.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Next, Fiona Charlotte from Indonesia. Long time no see you. Where have you been?
Yeah, Surabaya, Ajahn.
Can you speak louder?
Yeah, I want to ask.
Louder.
Yes, I want to ask Ajahn. In the Paticcasamuppada, it is explained that after the Vedana, there will be the potential opportunity for tanha to arise. How do we can condition the vedana properly so that tanha will not arise? What should be contemplated or conditioned in our mind?
You contemplate on the three characteristics of existence, anicca, dukkha, anatta, on the things that you crave for. See,
Yes.
if you see the things that you crave for will cause you suffering, then you don't want to crave for that thing anymore. Like eating too much sugar, for instance, will cause you to have diabetes, right? But people, if they don't have this knowledge, they'll keep enjoying eating sweets, eating sweet stuff until they become diabetic eventually. This is because they don't have the knowledge that eating too much sweet can cause diabetes. Same way, we get dukkha because we crave for things that can cause us dukkha. Things that can cause us dukkha because they are impermanent, they are temporary. We can be happy when we get something that we like, but when we lose something that we like, then we become sad or unhappy. So if we don't want to be sad or unhappy, then we don't go after things that can make us sad or unhappy, things that are impermanent. So you have to see everything that you crave for as being anicca, dukkha, anatta. Then you will have no craving.
Thank you.
Okay, understand?
Yeah, understand.
Okay, and in order to be able to see it clearly and all the time, you need to practice meditation first, to calm your mind first. Because if your mind is not calm, your craving will be strong, too strong for you to resist. And you will not be able to teach the mind to go see the truth, because the mind keeps seeing delusional, because the mind is still delusional when it's not calm. Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Next, Dr. PL and Dr. Indira, both together today.
Yes. Good morning from Toronto, Ajaan. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Yes, I have a question, Ajaan. I was just thinking now, Devadatta and Buddha, when you take in many lives, Devadatta was following Buddha. He was always angry and he had a lot of bad intentions, things like that. But every life, Buddha, like he was very kind and he let go and he forgave him. But so many lives until he became Buddha, he followed him. So in the same way, like even, in like if somebody really being unkind and bad, and you still learn to forgive, is it possible even if you let go from your side, that person can, even in a later birth, again have that kind of conflicts? Is that possible? I hope you're not talking about me.
Well, see, in practicing loving kindness or forgiveness, we do it for ourselves. When we forgive, our mind become peaceful, and then we don't worry about the other person, whether they want still continue to have hatred toward you or not. You cannot prevent that. You cannot. The purpose is to calm yourself, to make yourself calm and peaceful by not having hatred.
That's true.
But if the other person still want to continue with their hatred, that's their business. You cannot force them.
Yes, I understand.
But one day that person might see the light, like Devadatta eventually, finally, in his last days, finally see the light of having hatred. So he asked forgiveness from the Buddha before he died.
Yes, true. Thank you, Ajaan.
But the Buddha never have any hatred toward Devadatta. So the Buddha always feel peaceful and happy, regardless of what Devadatta might do to him. It's hard to do it, isn't it? If you don't have equanimity, you cannot do it. You need to have equanimity.
That's right, Ajaan. Yes. Thank you so much. This weekend we went to Satisaraniya, the Bhikkhuni monastery, and
Yes.
also to Tisarana. It's about 2.5 hours drive from 3.5, sorry. And yes, so both monasteries, it was a very nice experience. Yeah.
Are they nearby?
That's it. No, 3.5 hours from Toronto. It's in Perth, Ontario.
I mean,
like
both places are they nearby? Both places to
yes,
each other.
half an hour.
Yeah.
Both between from them 2 monasteries were
Yes,
half an hour.
I see. Are they outside in the country? In the countryside?
Close by,
Yeah.
yes.
That's good. It's quiet then.
Yes, very much so. Yes.
Very nice, yes. Very peaceful.
Maybe you'll
very
find.
peaceful.
Maybe you'll
It's like,
make up
like
residence one
100
day.
acre property.
Maybe one day you'll make up residence there.
Yes.
Have you ever thought of that?
Close to Perth. Yes, I was thinking about it.
Yes. Yes, we do. We'll see, Ajaan. Till then, we do our best from home.
Yeah, I asked her.
Well, I have my mother. She's 93, so we'll see as things go. But at the moment, following Dhamma as much as possible, and
I think there's a lot still as a lay person we can
yes
work on. I think
we do morality, and then bhavana.
Maybe the final leap.
I'm just teasing, really. It doesn't matter. It's up to you.
No, it's true. That's a good, very valid question. Yes.
We do think about it sometimes. Yes.
It's a very valid question.
Thank you, Ajaan. But thank you so much. Even we told the Ajaans and Bhikkhunis how much it has helped us joining these Zoom sessions.
We're talking to Ajaan Veeradhamma, had a chat. So we're talking about how we engage in the Zoom sessions.
And we learned so much from you.
Okay, I'm really happy to do that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Anything, Dr. Piao?
Just might be a long answer, but the asava or asava is like
I'm sorry, your connection is not good. I cannot hear you.
Being getting the asava. Can you hear me now?
Can't hear, but off and on. Cannot get the meaning of what you said.
The defilements of the defilements to go for an arahat is the asavas, the underlying defilements of the mind, which are like submerged, but they bubble up in most people, and the arahats is called the complete eradication of the asavas. Asava, there's different translation for it. Some translate as fermentations, some translate as taints. So these are all like underlying defilements of the mind, which I guess at one point we put them in. Say if you think mind as a box, it's not a box, but if you imagine, so unless you put them in, it won't react and come out like chemicals, like toxic chemicals you put in, and the toxic chemicals react inside the mind and they come out bubbling up. What do you think of this asava? What are your thoughts on this? The underlying defilements of the asavas.
They are the 10 samyojanas. The 10 fetters. That's what they are.
Okay. So they bind us to samsara.
That's right. And they can be very subtle, very almost unnoticeable.
Hard to see.
Yes.
So they call asava. But
Yeah.
but they're samyojanas of fetters, the 10 fetters.
10 fetters.
So at certain levels, certain amount of fetters go away till arahat. At the end,
Yes.
all 10 are gone.
Yes, the 10 fetters are divided into different
Categories of
categories, a level of enlightenment.
Yes.
To achieve the first level, you need to get rid of the first
three.
three, and so forth.
Yes.
So they are fetters, but sometimes they are described as asava. When more specifically, they refer to the 10 fetters.
Yeah.
Asava are just a general terms, general word.
Okay. That's a Sanyojana. Right?
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tana Jan.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay. Teruan Saranai.
Next, Melinda from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajahn.
Can you speak louder, please?
Can you hear me better?
Yes.
Good evening, Ajahn. Hello, Kilisa.
Uh-huh. Which is usual.
Yes, I'm really deluded. There's a lot of tempo.
Try to practice more. Your practice will remove your defilement, your kilesa. If you don't practice, your kilesa will not be removed. So keep practicing charity, morality, and meditation. Okay.
I think the first session, we were speaking with the first participant. I think his name is Marcus. And Ajahn said that sometimes you cannot be too perfect. Then I still feel that I have not enough. It's difficult to find a balance. Like how far do I push?
No need to find a balance, just accept things as they come. If you fail, just accept that you fail, that's all. If you succeed, you just accept that you succeed. There's no need to find balance.
So just let the moment be one after another.
That's
like,
right.
Yes.
Today you do this thing and you succeed. Tomorrow you do something else and you fail. Okay, so you just accept them for what they are and move on. Or use them as a lesson. If you fail, find out the reason why did you fail, so you can improve your performance, so that you won't fail the next time. Failure actually is good. It's a teacher. See, we need a teacher sometimes to teach us what's wrong with us. What did we do wrong? So you can analyze your failure and find out what did I do wrong that caused this failure. And it can be a teacher. It can be a good teacher, really. So you should not be afraid of failure. Think of it as a teacher. You have to be wrong before you can become correct.
Sometimes I find too lenient.
No one is perfect. Just say this word, no one is perfect. Even the Buddha, he did some wrong thing before he became enlightened. He fasted for 49 days and he found that was wrong.
And then he accept the note from Suchart, from the lay person.
Yes,
I was feeling very
and start eating. And then this caused disappointment on the 5 ascetics, so they abandoned him. But he didn't care. He didn't practice for somebody to respect him. He practiced for the eradication of suffering. So whichever method that can eradicate the suffering, he stopped and find a new solution. So he eventually found the Four Noble Truths. So you have to be wrong before you can be right. So don't be afraid of being wrong. But
Like that.
you have to admit that when you're wrong, that's all. Don't try to not admit that. Some people don't want to admit that they're wrong. That's wrong. When you're wrong, admit that you're wrong. Then try to correct it the next time. Okay?
Like I feel like sometimes I feel this mood like very sad, and then I crave for food that is sour. So sometimes I feel like I just can't bear that mood. And then I just be lenient, and then I go and have the sourish food. Yeah, so I just feel up, but I know it's like a habit. I'm not sure, like it's something inside the brain that just want to have that feel up the balance, like feeling sad and needing that sour food to counter that sadness. But if I don't eat, I try to push myself. I find that I can't focus. I'm not going anywhere. So
When you're sad, you're using the wrong remedy. Food doesn't remedy your sadness. It's your mindfulness that can do this.
yeah, it's like the mind just like I say, maybe that's lenient. I try the next day like that. Sometimes I can endure not to have it, and then I get over it. And sometimes I just succumb to the craving.
Yeah, that's because your mindfulness is weak when you succumb to your defilement. So you have to be strong with your mindfulness. Keep practicing more mindfulness. Okay, and also wisdom to see that sensual pleasure are not the answer to the cessation of suffering. Yeah, actually it will increase more suffering later on. Because you become more addicted, you become more attached to them.
Yeah. I think you told Julia about when you suffer, but something that we know is not correct, but you still want to cling on it.
Yeah, stubborn, and then the defilement are very stubborn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
You're welcome. Christine Coe from Penang.
Good evening, Ajahn.
Yes.
This Saturday, I'm flying to Thailand for 9 days to do the donation before the Vasa end.
Good.
Yeah, total about 10 temples.
Good.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all for tonight. Thank you so much. I hope that next year I can visit Ajahn as well.
Okay. You're visiting me right now.
I can
Well,
offer Ghana and marriage.
You can send it by the mail. Transfer.
Yes. Practice
Okay.
is much more important. Yes, I know.
Okay. Let's
Thank you,
practice.
sir.
You're welcome. Next, Masha from Ohio. What's the town
Hello?
you're living in? What's the name of the town you're living in?
I live just outside of Dayton, Ohio.
Dayton, Ohio. Okay.
Yeah. I was very interested in the talk you had with Julia on emptiness. And I was actually just watching the Facebook Live, and I was happy to get into the Zoom meeting. I thought it would be full already. But I sort of ended up in this empty state in my meditation again. My meditation hasn't been great, but I've been, really aware of how my mind is working and how distracted I've been due to things I really can't change. So I just keep trying to accept everything as it's coming. And so on Sunday morning, I sat down with the local meditation Zoom, and I thought, okay, got to get back on track, have to, you know, really get the focus back. And I was able to get some concentration, and I was watching the nose tip. And so it became very steady, and then I realized, oh, I'm in the empty state again. You know, there's nothing there really. And then I just knew, it's not like a thinking type of a thing, but then I knew that the emptiness was passing away. I knew that I wasn't clinging to anything, and that the emptiness was this, I wrote it down here. I knew that the emptiness was a steady state of disappearing. And so I've been thinking about that, because I've always wanted to see the rising and the passing away. And I thought, well, now I seem to be experiencing the passing away. It's like there's nothing there. And it's not like I'm really seeing anything. It was more like I was knowing it. And so I think I still have a little confusion about what was going on. And I realized it was, the emptiness was what the books say is being insubstantial. It's like there just nothing. I couldn't see anything forming, but I knew that because it was empty, that it's like everything was gone before it could be there. Does that make any sense?
Well, if it's true emptiness, then there's nothing. But if there's still something, then it's not true emptiness yet. So your mind is
Yeah,
it's not yet fully still. Let's put it that way, maybe. When it becomes fully still, then everything will disappear. And all you have left is nothing or emptiness. And the knowing of that emptiness, that is there, the knowing. But everything else that's been in your mind will disappear temporarily. And then you find a sense of peace and contentment. That's the important thing that you should experience, is contentment. Or equanimity. No love, hate, fear, delusion. No love for anything, not hate for anything, fear of anything, or deluded of anything. Just being happy within itself, the mind being happy within itself. Doesn't need to have anything anymore. That's the feeling you want to get to. If I can use the word feeling, but it's not feeling.
Yeah, I think I keep
Nearly
getting,
there.
I
You're
feel
nearly there.
I'm right up at the edge. I keep coming right up to the edge.
Just keep focusing on your breath. Don't pay attention to anything else.
I need to hear that over and over. Thank you for telling me again.
Yeah. We tend to be distracted by whatever we think or we feel sometimes, or what we see. Come back to your breath. Come back to your concentration. Because it's the concentration that will lead you to emptiness, nothing else.
Yeah, it sort of seems like I get to that little equanimity, and then I allow a little bit of analyzation.
Yeah,
I
distraction.
get a little distracted when I get to the equanimity.
Yeah. But you can remind yourself the next time when you meditate, because you know that what you're not supposed to be distracted with anymore.
Yeah. And I find that when these things happen, it's easier for me to correct it. It's like I can do that and then go back to the nose.
Yes.
And
The more you practice, the more experience you will have, and the more you will know how to deal with the things that keep distracting you. Good.
Okay.
Just continue on practicing.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Next intern from Indonesia.
Good evening, Prajaan.
Yes, how are you?
I'm fine, Prajaan. How are you, Prajaan?
Good, thank you. What can I do for you?
Yes. Prajaan, what should we offering when the 13?
Katina?
Yes.
Just the same thing, like you offer anything, just the four basic requisites of monks, like clothing, food,
Okay.
medicine, or whatever the temple needs. If the temple needs to renovate or to rebuild something, if you want to share, you want to help support, then you can help.
Okay. So, more better we ask the temple.
Yeah, it's better if you can ask them, what do you need? Because sometimes you give the things that we don't need, and it's not useful. But we cannot ask you for that. So you have to ask us, then we can tell you. But I cannot go to you and say, I need this and I need that. I cannot do that. You have to be the one to ask me, what do I need? Then you make the offer. See?
Okay, Prajaan.
Then
So
it's up to
when
me
I meet
whether
Prajaan, I
then it's
ask
up
to
to
Prajaan.
then it's up to me whether I'll take the offer or not also. You can offer me, but sometimes I can refuse the offer also.
Okay. The second question, Prajaan. As a Buddhist, what should we do if someone pass away?
Don't cry. Just
Yeah,
remain.
besides that,
Yeah, just remain normal. Act normal. Nothing happened. Death is the Buddha said death is normal. Don't act as if it's something abnormal.
So we need to chanting or do something ritual.
You need to
Because
tell.
sometimes I don't understand.
You need to remind yourself that you also will die one day.
Okay.
That's all you need to do. I am also subjected to death. And one day will be my cue, my turn. That's all you need to do, really.
Yes.
Okay? We tend to forget death. Only when we see somebody die, then we can start thinking, oh, I'll be dead also one day. Then you have to keep thinking more, not just on the day a person die. You have to remind yourself every day, or every hour, or every minute if you can. Can you remember that? And you will die. Have you ever thought of it today about dying?
No.
Okay, then that's bad. You have to keep thinking all the time. The Buddha said if you can think about death every breath, that's the best thing, he said. When you breathe in and you don't breathe out, you die. When you breathe out and when you don't breathe in, you die. Just keep thinking like this all the time.
Prajaan, but for me, cause my delusion, I worry if I think about the everyday, so I will I don't want to walk anymore.
But you have to eat, right? Do you have to eat or not? Okay, then you have to work. Who's gonna feed you if you're not feeding yourself? Okay. Whenever you feel lazy, you ask yourself, can you stop eating or not? If you can stop eating, then you can be lazy. You don't have to work.
No, I mean when I contemplate about that every day, every moment. So I think I don't need everything. So more better, I just meditate. That is, I scared about that.
Okay. You have to meditate first. Your mind is not strong enough yet to accept death. You need to have equanimity before you can accept death.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'll go
Thank
to
you,
the next
Ajahn.
to Rome from the Philippines. Hi, Rome. Is this your real name, Rome?
Yes, Ajahn, not really.
You cannot hear you. You have to speak louder.
Rome for Rome V.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't have questions. I'm just listening, Ajahn.
Okay, good.
Mm.
I'll go to Singapore then, to Sulan. Hi, Sue.
Hello, Ajahn. Happy to see you again.
Yes, happy to see you too. What can I do for you?
Yeah. Actually, last week I was overseas, so I couldn't dial in for the call. Yeah. Then yeah, I wanted to ask Ajahn, like I kind of feel like you know, when I have to be accountable to people, it feels easier to deliver, whereas as compared to if I have to be accountable to myself. So I just wanted to ask, like, how can I be more accountable to myself? Yeah.
Just by thinking that you're not yourself, see, you're somebody else that you feel accountable to.
Oh, shit. Mm.
Because you tend to be, when you with yourself, you tend to be what you call, not, I cannot think of the word. But with other people, you know that they are critical to you. But with yourself, you tend not to be critical of yourself. So you
Yeah.
have to think of yourself as somebody else. Be critical of yourself.
Mm.
And then you have to also have to give some form of punishment to yourself when you do something wrong.
Oh.
So that you will then not do it again the next time. Like if you do something wrong, then say, okay, I'm not going to eat dinner for today or something as a form of punishment, but also as a form of reward for the mind. When you can skip a meal, it's good for the mind. It's bad for the defilement. Punish your defilement every time you do something wrong. Punish your defilement. I'll stop shopping this week. I'm not going to buy anything new this week. When you do something wrong, then you'll feel more accountable toward yourself.
Then does it mean that if I do something right, I can buy something to reward myself?
I didn't quite hear you.
Oh, as in, so if I were to do something right, that does it mean that it is okay to buy something to reward myself?
You should reward with Dhamma, not reward with defilement. Then you should go practice meditation for 3 days.
Oh, yes, okay. So I should also be wise on like how I should reward myself.
Or if you want to buy something, then use the money to give it to charity instead. Then you're rewarding the mind with Dhamma, with Dana. If you go buy things that you don't need, then you're rewarding your defilement, your greed.
That's true. Okay.
Okay.
Then yeah, today I bought some pastries and shared with my colleagues. Yeah, and I feel very happy about it.
Good.
And I bought some. Yeah.
Do it more often.
Yeah.
And with everything you want to buy, every time you want to buy something for yourself, buy it for somebody else. Makes you feel better.
Yes, it does. And I was quite surprised that they also give me some pastries and snacks in return.
Yeah, giving is more happy than taking.
Yes, giving is more happy.
Okay, we're running out of time.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Ajahn.
I'll go to Kunjup now. Do we have any question, Kunjup?
กับนมัสการค่ะ We have one question so far, and it's from the Dr. V channel. And the question is, when meditating, should we listen to pure tone frequencies, such as the 936 hertz, or binaural beats like theta and delta waves? Or is it better to meditate in a quiet place? I've seen so many videos about this.
You should meditate on a natural environment, something that's available naturally. Like go to the forest, go to a park or somewhere quiet. Or if you cannot go, maybe you can sit in your own room and do it there. Yeah. Whatever is available to you. But the goal is to find a quiet place. That's all. Because if you have noises or sound or people doing things around you, they can become distraction to your meditation. And you will not be able to succeed in your meditation that way. All right?
That is all, ka. That is all, ka.
Okay. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you for your company. I hope this meeting is useful to you and can help you in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amins. Good night, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Prashan. Thank you.
ขอบคุณพี่แอดมินทุกคนนะครับสวัสดีครับ
สวัสดี
เจอ
ค่ะ
กั
อบ นุ
คุณ
โม
ค
ท
รับ
นา
สวัส
สวัส
ดี
ดี
ครับ
ค่ะ
บ๊ายบาย
บ๊ายบาย